Hey guys, welcome to another burn build video. This one's going to feature the AC you see right here in the garage, 213, and we're going to kind of get to, from start to finish, I'm going to show you the mind and the concept that went into this. So right out the gate, going into assembly, you can see what the AC is set up as. It's a lightweight, doesn't have a lot of defense, stability's kind of crap, attitude recovery is decent, target tracking is alright, speeds are middle of the road, good for a light, but not the best, weight's a little chunky. But its energy capacity, its energy supply efficiency, and recharge delay, pretty decent. Not great, but decent enough. And that's where the stat sheet over there will stop mattering. Over here we got the Ludlow. Now a lot of people are going to see this and hate it because it's the Ludlow. The Etsugen's even worse. But this allows me to maintain decent good accuracy with 120 recoil on the arms. We'll come back to why that's important in a minute. Javelin Beta on this is a bad choice because of the missile rating on the Ocellus, I think it's called. Yeah, that's not good. That means this lock time, let me go back to it, is going to be even longer than 2.4. Not great. But it gets the job done. Unfortunately, it's just something I have to live with. That said, going back to the core parts here, again, the Ocellus. You've seen this. The speed is there because it's a lightweight. I wanted that top booster stat to matter. Boost speed 378, it's pretty decent. Lets me get away with not having a quick boost all the time, which takes care of the quick boost speed. Ming Tang is kind of a generator I took out of need. The 1250 energy recharge. This is where we ended up. This is being most comfortable. Its competitors were the Hokushi, which makes me a little fatter and only slightly slower. And there's not much of a benefit. The end supply efficiency is nice, but their recharge delay and it's just not as good for me. I do like the fatter output though. The other alternative was everybody's kind of standard, and this is honestly what it started on. So, looking back, it's got some options, even this, but realistically so far, this one's treated me the best, and it doesn't use energy weapons, so not a problem. Let's address the frame, because this thing is obvious why it's here. Bomb thrower needs no introduction. Good weapon on pretty much anything you can put it on, and we'll come back to that a little bit later as well. Varel. Defenses, scanning. Why it's here. Stability is an added benefit because this lightweight gets broken anyway. But it's good stability, so it's worth the wait. Albacore. Pretty straightforward. Well-rounded lightweight core, decent defenses, not great but decent. Booster efficiency, however, here is the name of the game. It's better than the Noctrider, and we're going to take a look at that. While it fits, you see why we're not using it. Less defense, especially on a close quarters AC like this, can be a severe problem if you're looking to just push in on someone. Now, I could get away with this. My supply efficiency drops relatively significantly and gets me under a point where I'm comfortable. It lessens the weight as well, increases the speed slightly, but I value the slight bit of defense more than this. Moving on to the arms, I mentioned it earlier with the weapons. Etsugen and Ludlow help with the recoil control, plus these arms are a little chunky, so I get more defense here as well. The Fermezza are the weak link of the AC, but it's the only option I have with the good jump distance, somewhere between the Noctrider and the Alba legs. At the same time, it has okay defenses. Not as good as these, but they're not completely trash. They're just mostly trash. Realistically, I would like to run this AC on any other legs, but they just don't work the same. It starts to have problems that you otherwise wouldn't run into. And that's completely ignoring the weight, mind you. Again, booster, SPD, we've been over this, and pulse armor because you just want to be able to ignore your first ACS break. It helps a lot in this situation. Now let's go take a look at, why these weapons are the way they are. I'll give you a weapons test on the wall. Okay. So just as an example of what the spread looks like on these. Pretty good for a little bit, but it starts going all over the place pretty quick. Over here, same thing. It's everywhere by the end of it, but that's okay, because you're usually quick boosting in between them anyway. Let's get an enemy real quick. bag. This is what I mean about the slow missile lock. With that, combined with that, can be really good. And if you're doing this right, the general MO is to ACS break however you want. Probably gonna kill this guy. You initially lead in with the javelin, you use your ACS break, and you go back to these guys. Fire the javelin about here. You get the eye. And that's generally this AC's MO. However, if you're fighting someone with a strong melee, and you have them built up pretty far, this stops that in its tracks and gives you a juicy opportunity for more follow-up damage. But that's where we ended up, and those are some of the reasons why. Some of the things this AC had beforehand were a shotgun and other assorted, well, we'll just say less than optimal weapons. This was a shotgun of sorts. It initially had this as a weapon with other things on it, back when it was the E-Test model. This went away when I changed the generator. It just didn't work out. It's a good weapon, I think, but probably not on this frame. The Javelin is actually a new addition to this as well, as it started out. These guys. They're still good missiles, and I like them, but it doesn't do what the Javelin does as far as its tricky nature. It does apply very straightforward pressure, and they're good, both of them. Don't underestimate either one of these. It just doesn't have that side fire, and I like playing around cover a lot too, so gonna take where I can get it. It also replaced the Trirenos as an option here as well. While the Trirenos are probably superior, air quotes, the Javelin has a lot of tricky stuff, and I just really like that. You're probably better off with these, honestly, you're probably better off with the Plasma Verts, but not if you want to build ACSs. These maintain it, but they don't build it. And people are going to tell you, these guys build ACS good. These guys maintain ACS okay. This was originally this guy, because I was trying to recapture my old school FA AC, and it just didn't work. Same frame for the most part, arms were different, but it just wasn't coming together. And the more you realize this isn't for answer, the more you're going to be better off. Looking at, let's see, yeah, that's about it for the frame. So let's just go show you what it looks like versus the arena, shall we? See this thing in practice. If you've been around the page a little bit, you've seen it fight in other videos. But the AC is over a month old at this point, and survived a few patches, but it is not without its faults. Not my cleanest work, not a bad finish. Now that said, the bomb thrower is a really good weapon. So, no matter what you put it on, it's going to treat you pretty good. Maybe that's carrying this AC for now? I don't really know. Certainly feels like it sometimes. I'm sorry this was kind of short. I would have liked to have gotten into a lot of other stuff, but I don't have the prototype anymore. And realistically, the decisions made in this screen are fairly well explained. It's a simple AC, done probably in the simplest way possible for me. It was a product of its enemies as well, which I don't have a good handle on, and I can't show you, unfortunately. If you're on the channel, you've seen other videos. I'm not going to recommend going watch them if you don't want to, because you'll just be thumbing through a lot of AC footage, but it's there. If you like the AC, give it a shot. Here's the loadout, here's the stats again. It was fun to build, fun to pilot, and I still like it. It's still one of the better ones I have. I typically prefer lightweights or RJs, if you're not familiar with the channel and you just found this video. So I typically do more of those. I would do breakdowns on more of them, but realistically right now, these are hard to get together because the recording is difficult to get in a silent space. My life's been kind of crazy, and I do these as often as I can. I love the Burn Build series. There's another one coming up, Project Mercury, which is going to be way worse than this, but I think you guys are going to like it better. So, hopefully till then, take it easy, guys.